Why is it that every Monday, the stock market seems to defy all logic? It gaps up or down, sometimes violently, even when there was zero news over the weekend. What if I told you that this isn't random at all? In fact, Monday's market behavior is one of the most predictable days of the week, but only if you know what to look for. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden mechanics that drive Monday trading, giving you an edge that 95% of retail traders completely miss. Most people think markets move because of news, a good earnings report, a new product launch, a Federal Reserve announcement. But on Monday, that's rarely the case. The real drivers are positioning and liquidity cycles and the complex hedging activities of large institutions that happen behind the scenes after everyone else has logged off for the weekend. Think about it. The market closes at 4 p.m. on Friday, but the world doesn't stop. Global financial systems are running 24/7. Over the weekend, while you're relaxing, institutional algorithms are tracking everything in real time. Currency fluctuations, oil price movements, bond yields, credit spreads, and geopolitical tensions. They are processing 2 full days of information and risk that haven't been priced into the U.S. stock market yet. This creates what we call an information vacuum. There's no active trading, no public order flow for U.S. stocks. But risk is building up. So when the opening bell rings on Monday morning, the market has to instantly adjust to account for everything that happened over the last 48 hours. This is why we see those big opening gaps. It's not random volatility. It's a calculated repricing of risk. This is also why so many major weekly reversals start on a Monday. It's the day when institutions rebalance their massive portfolios. Hedge funds, seeing how the global landscape shifted over the weekend, aggressively reposition their bets. And options market makers, who have to manage billions in derivatives exposure, are forced to reset their positions. Most retail traders are completely blind to this. They see the price swings and call it Monday madness or unpredictable noise, but it's not noise. Monday is the purest snapshot we get all week of what the big money, the institutional players, expect for the days ahead. They are showing their hand, but you have to know how to read the cards. And if you're watching this right now, I want you to stick with me, because we're about to decode it. In fact, after you've heard this, I want you to leave your own prediction for next Monday in the comments below. Let's see who gets it right. So, how do we predict this seemingly chaotic day? It boils down to tracking 3 key leading indicators that most people ignore: bond yields, overnight futures, and options flow. Let's break each one down, because this is where the real alpha is. First, let's talk about bond yields, specifically the 10-year Treasury yield. This is the ultimate barometer for risk appetite in the market. Think of it as the financial system's pulse. If bond yields are spiking over the weekend, it tells you that the cost of borrowing money is going up. This puts immediate pressure on growth stocks, the tech companies that rely on cheap capital to fuel their expansion. Higher yields also tighten overall financial conditions, making investors more cautious. So, a significant weekend spike in yields is a huge red flag. It often precedes a Monday sell-off in the stock market, as institutions dump riskier assets. Conversely, if yields are falling, it signals a flight to safety or an expectation of lower interest rates, which can be bullish for stocks. Next up, we have overnight futures. Before the US market even opens, markets in Asia and Europe have been trading for hours. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures contracts trade nearly 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. These futures markets are how global investors price U.S. risk before the official New York session begins. If you wake up on Monday morning and see that Asian markets sold off heavily overnight and European markets followed suit, that negative momentum almost always spills over into the U.S. Open. Why? Because hedge funds and large asset managers don't wait for the opening bell. They use the liquidity in the pre-market and overnight futures sessions to start repositioning their portfolios. They are already selling before most retail traders have even had their morning coffee. Following the trend in overnight futures gives you a direct look at the direction of institutional capital flow before the chaos begins. The third and perhaps most powerful indicator is options flow. The options market is like a crystal ball for short-term price movements. When large traders buy options, they aren't just making a bet. They are forcing the market makers on the other side of that trade to hedge their position. For example, let's say there's a huge amount of put buying on the SPY ETF right before the close on Friday. A put option is a bet that the price will go down. The market makers who sold those puts are now short, meaning they will lose money if the market falls. To protect themselves, they need to become delta neutral. The simplest way to do that is by shorting the underlying asset itself, in this case, the S&P 500. So, heavy put buying into Friday's close creates a powerful selling pressure that is almost guaranteed to materialize on Monday morning, as market makers hedge their books. The market doesn't open red by chance, it's mechanically forced lower. This isn't just a theory, it is the fundamental architecture of modern market making. By tracking options flow, you can see where the dealers will be forced to push the price. Now let's talk about another massively overlooked factor: liquidity. Liquidity is simply the ease with which you can buy or sell an asset without affecting its price. On a typical day, the market is flush with liquidity. But on certain Mondays, it can dry up. This often happens after long holiday weekends, after a major economic data release on a Friday, or following a Federal Reserve meeting. When liquidity is low, there are fewer buyers and sellers in the market. This means that even a medium-sized order can cause a huge price swing. Volatility skyrockets not because of news, but because the market's shock absorbers are gone. Smart traders know to check the liquidity models from major banks. If the models are signaling a low liquidity environment for Monday, they prepare for a choppy, volatile session and adjust their position sizes accordingly. Finally, we have the king of them all, the US dollar index, or the DXY. The dollar is the world's reserve currency. Its strength or weakness sets the tone for the entire global risk complex. Think of it as the gravitational center of the financial universe. If the dollar strengthens significantly over the weekend, it's generally bad news for U.S. stocks and commodities. A strong dollar makes U.S. exports more expensive and can signal a flight to safety, where investors are dumping riskier assets from around the world and piling into the perceived safety of the dollar. On the other hand, if the dollar weakens, it's often a green light for risk assets. A weaker dollar makes U.S. goods cheaper, boosts the profits of multinational corporations, and encourages investment in equities and commodities like oil and gold. So, before you even look at a stock chart on Monday morning, check the DXY. Its direction will tell you a huge part of the story for the week ahead. So, let's put it all together. Monday isn't just another trading day. It's the Great Reset. It's the moment when 2 days of accumulated global risk, institutional repositioning, and mechanical hedging all converge at the opening bell. It's when bond yields, overnight futures, options flow, liquidity conditions, and the US dollar all give you clear, actionable signals about the week to come. By watching these indicators, you stop guessing and start anticipating. You'll see a spike in bond yields and know that tech stocks might face headwinds. You'll see a sea of red in overseas futures and prepare for a weak US Open. You'll see massive put buying on Friday and understand why the market is being pushed lower on Monday. This is the framework that professionals use. They don't see Monday as random. They see it as the most information-rich day of the week. They understand the system's mechanics. And now you do too. So next Monday, don't just watch the price. Watch the signals. Watch the bond yields, the futures, the options flow, and the dollar. Because once you learn to read the language of the market, predicting its next move becomes far, far easier than most people could ever imagine. Ever wonder why Mondays in the stock market feel so chaotic? Why your Monday trades seem to go wrong more often than not? Well, I'm about to share the straight truth that most analysts won't tell you. Monday's market direction isn't random, and it's not driven by the weekend headlines. It's determined by predictable positioning imbalances that build up all week long. Think of the market like a giant pressure cooker. By the end of Friday, it's sealed tight. Come Monday morning, the valve is released and all that pent-up pressure explodes. This isn't just theory, it's mechanics. Every Monday morning, big institutions rebalance their portfolios. We're talking massive funds with automated models. Pension funds adjust their equity to bond ratios. Hedge funds have to rebalance their long and short exposures. And options market makers have to adjust their hedges based on how options prices decayed over the weekend, a concept known as theta decay, and shifts in volatility. It's a synchronized system-wide reset. This creates a cascade of buying and selling that has nothing to do with whether a company's CEO said something on Sunday television. And here's something that affects millions of people, even if they don't know it. Billions of dollars in automated contributions to ETFs and 401k plans hit the market early in the week. This creates a steady mechanical flow of buying pressure known as the passive bid. This is a huge reason why, historically, Mondays often trend higher. It's called the Monday effect. It's not magic, it's just scheduled automated buying from retirement accounts and passive funds pushing the market up. But what happens when the market is stressed? During earnings season, or when there's geopolitical tension, or a big economic report is due, that passive bid gets overwhelmed. The rebalancing pressure I mentioned earlier becomes much more aggressive. That's when Monday transforms from a gentle updrift into the most violent and unpredictable trading day of the week. This is why you see volatility cluster around Mondays. All the fear and greed from the previous week gets unleashed in a few short hours. This brings us to one of the biggest traps for retail traders, the Monday morning fakeout. The first 60 to 90 minutes of trading on a Monday is often pure noise, not a reliable signal. Why? Because professional market makers are on the hunt. They know where amateur traders place their stop losses. They know where the pockets of liquidity are. So they intentionally push the price into these zones to trigger those stops and grab that liquidity. They need to fill their large orders. The easiest way to do that is to trigger a cascade of selling or buying from smaller players. They hunt the liquidity first, and only then does the real trend for the week start to emerge. This is why smart money waits. Experienced traders often don't even place a significant trade until after 10:30 or 11:00 a.m. Eastern Time. By then, the initial liquidity sweep, that chaotic opening storm, has usually played out. The market has shown its hand. If more traders understood this simple dynamic, they would stop guessing where the market is going based on the opening bell and start making predictions based on the market's real intentions. It's about letting the noise settle before you listen for the signal. Now, let's go a layer deeper, to something almost nobody talks about outside of institutional circles. The bond market is your crystal ball for Monday. While the stock market is closed over the weekend, the bond market, specifically Treasury futures, is not. Bond traders are pricing in institutional expectations 24/7. So if you see Treasury futures falling over the weekend, it means bond prices are down and yields are spiking. Higher yields are generally bearish for stocks, especially for tech and growth companies. Conversely, if Treasury futures are rising, yields are dropping, which is typically bullish for equities. This is your first and most powerful clue about what big money expects for the week ahead, long before the stock market even opens. You can make your predictions almost surgical by combining this with the VEX, the so-called fear index. But don't just look at the VEX number, look at its term structure. That means comparing the price of VIX futures for the near term versus the long term. If the front-end VIX, representing short-term fear, is spiking but the back-end VIX stays flat, it suggests the panic is likely temporary and confined to Monday. But if that back-end VIX starts rising too, it means institutions are pricing in sustained systemic risk for the entire week or even longer. That is your ultimate early warning signal. And we're not done yet. Commodities provide another crucial piece of the puzzle. If crude oil spikes over the weekend or on Monday morning, that signals rising inflation expectations. This puts immediate pressure on the Federal Reserve and is often a headwind for growth stocks. On the other hand, if you see a sharp rise in gold and silver, that's a classic fear signal. It means investors are fleeing to safety, adopting a risk-off stance. This often precedes a downturn in the broader stock market. These are not isolated markets. They are all interconnected parts of a global risk machine. Let's not forget about crypto. The crypto market never sleeps, and because it's so sensitive to liquidity and speculation, its weekend performance has shown a surprisingly strong correlation with the S&P 500's direction on Monday. If Bitcoin has a strong rally over the weekend, it often indicates a risk-on appetite among traders that spills over into the stock market come Monday. It's a barometer for global liquidity cycles. So before you even look at a stock chart, check the bond market, check the VIX, check commodities, and check crypto. You'll have a multidimensional view of market sentiment. Here's the final piece of the Monday puzzle, and it's a big one. Correlations break on Mondays more than any other day. Normally, you expect stocks and bonds to move in certain ways relative to each other. You expect tech stocks to move with small cap stocks. But on Monday, all bets are off. Why? Because Monday is the great unwinding. All the leveraged bets and complex hedge positions from the previous week are being closed or adjusted. This causes temporary decoupling. Safe haven assets might move in the opposite way you'd expect. Stocks might ignore what bonds are doing. This chaos isn't random. It's the direct result of last week's trades being unwound. So let's put it all together. Monday isn't a roll of the dice. It's a structured, predictable, data-driven event. By watching Monday's bond yields, futures prices, options flows, and the strength of market correlations, you can predict the market with shocking accuracy. You can see the institutional game plan unfolding in real time. It's not about finding a magic indicator. It's about understanding the system. If you've watched this far, you're already ahead of 99% of the people who trade based on headlines and gut feelings. You're starting to see the architecture behind the chaos. So for next week, I challenge you, don't just watch the price, watch the system. Now that you know what to look for, leave your prediction for next Monday's market in the comments below. I want to see how many of you are beginning to see the market for what it truly is. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this.